This episode is brought to you by Experian Automotive. Experian helps the auto industry turn powerful vehicle, consumer, and credit data into action. From smarter marketing and better credit decisions to fraud protection, vehicle history, and market insights, they can help you move faster and stay ahead of the competition. Learn more at Experian Automotive.
Hey, this is Daily Drive executive producer Jake Neer in Detroit. Welcome to this bonus episode of the show. On Thursday's show, we brought you an excerpt from the latest Automotive News Congress Conversations live stream, a panel discussion about this year's top suppliers list from Automotive News. There was more to that conversation we weren't able to get to on Thursday, including a discussion about China now tying the U.S. with 16 companies each on the list, plus a lightning round where each executive names where they see the most growth ahead. Automotive News Assistant Managing Editor Hannah Lutz led the conversation. On the panel, we had Aruna Anand, CEO of Amovio North America, Ramiro Gutierrez, President of ZF North America, Andrew Clements, North America Chief Technology Officer at Denso, and Marisa West, Executive Vice President and Chairperson of North America at OP Mobility. Here's this piece of the conversation.
So Chinese companies climbed on our latest top suppliers list, and they're now tied with the U.S. with 16 suppliers on the list and two more just outside of the top 100. So how does this change the competitive landscape when we look at Chinese companies coming in and rising very quickly? Aruna, would you like to start?
Yeah, talk about China itself and then talk about its suppliers. You see that China has become one of the most significant forces that shape the global automotive industry, both as a manufacturing center and also increasingly as a source of innovation. Its growth has accelerated the competition. It's influenced all our cost structures in some manner. And it's also raised important discussions around supply chain resilience and regional balance. And our focus as suppliers, I think, is not just reacting to just single country, but we have to learn from how they innovate and how they do lean development. And for us, it's also ensuring that we have a robust, diversified supply chain that allow us to serve customers effectively in every region. So that's how I see China and Chinese competition.
Okay. Andrew, when you think about it, are you seeing China as a competitor or is there a collaborator customer aspect as well?
Well, both, of course. Being a global company, we operate in every region of the world, including China. And as Aruna mentioned, the global competition has always been intense. And we'll continue to learn and contribute globally from our experience and our operations in China, just like we have in the past with North America, Europe, India, Korea, and the rest. So, I think China is a really good motivator for us to continue to strengthen our manufacturing capability as well as our design and our product technology. And we really appreciate the efforts to make sure that we're all operating on a fair playing field.
Okay, Marisa, how are you approaching China competition?
Yeah, I mean, I think really similarly to what my peers here have said, first of all, we have a strong presence in China. We have a joint venture with YFPO, and we've actually expanded the scope of our product lineup with them. We want to learn from the Chinese OEMs, and we want to learn from our competition in China. We recognize that's important for operating within China. It's vitally important for operating outside of China. I like the notion of China speed, and you go to China, it's almost like exercising and learning from them and rethinking, a lot of the things that we thought we knew. So I think Ramiro was alluding to it with, some of the requirements and the things that have been, legacy or traditional with some of the Western OEMs. Everything has to be questioned at this point, and the supply base has a unique perspective and exposure to that market and to what they're doing and how they're doing it. And we need to make sure that that's pervasive across the industry. I think Andrew made a good point too, though. We have to recognize that, where is the playing field level? Where is it not? And how are we able to collaborate and work with our customers across different regions and different markets, to make sure that these partnerships remain strong, they remain mutually beneficial, and in a way fair. But we have a responsibility certainly to continue to go faster and reduce our development costs so that we can remain competitive and innovation. I think over history, especially within the automotive industry, competition and onset of disruptors has always resulted in great innovations and a benefit to the entire industry and most importantly the end customer.
This episode is brought to you by Experian Automotive. In today's auto market, every decision matters, and the businesses winning are the ones powered by better data. That's where Experian Automotive comes in. Experian combines industry-leading vehicle, consumer, and credit data with deep automotive expertise to help dealers, lenders, manufacturers, and industry partners make smarter decisions and move faster. Want to connect with the right shoppers at the right time? Looking to sharpen your marketing, make more confident credit decisions, better understand vehicle history, spot market trends, or strengthen your defenses against fraud? Experian helps make it happen. But it's not just about having a lot of data. It's about knowing what to do with it. Experian's automotive experts understand the challenges facing the industry today and help turn complex information into clear, actionable insights that drive results. Whether you're focused on growing your business, improving efficiency, managing risk, or staying ahead of market shifts, Experian Automotive gives you the intelligence and tools to compete with confidence. Learn more at experianautomotive.com. Experian Automotive, powering smarter decisions across the automotive ecosystem.
Audio could be the next differentiator between automakers. As new sound systems allow for more personalization, the kind of audio software an automaker uses could transform the consumer experience. On this week's episode of the Automotive News Shift podcast, we're joined by John Policio, the Global Product Marketing Director for QNX.
Policio spoke about how new audio systems make it possible for passengers in the same car to listen to different music.
Whether it's regional personalization, whether it's artist-based or entertainer-based personalization, the sky is really the limit when it comes to cool new ways to be able to interact with your music.
Automakers have more choices to make about sound levels if they use a software system. When multiple types of sounds come in at one time, automakers will be able to rank them so consumers can get the most important information. For example, they'll choose whether music, alerts, or directions will get priority, and consumers may soon be able to set their own preferences too.
Join us for Shift, available this Sunday wherever you get your podcasts. Well, we have time for one more question. I wish we could talk all day because I have many more on my list that we haven't gotten to. So let's make this a sort of lightning round. Let's start with Andrew. In which areas, and this could be geography or can be technology, whatever fits, in which areas are you seeing the most growth or growth potential?
Well, I'll stick to the product technology side, given my current role. I think, one thing I'd like to dispel is the myth that EV is dead. EV is not equal to battery electric vehicle. EV is continuing to grow through hybrid powertrains, different alternative multi-pathway approaches. And so I think there remains a lot of opportunity to innovate and grow business in the product segments to support those multi-pathway powertrains. So that's where we're spending a lot of our time and resources to continue to develop and expand an already very strong portfolio that we have across multiple product lines.
Ramiro?
Yeah, I would say that one of the most dynamic areas, as I said before, has to do with the software-defined vehicle and the range of possibilities that open up. I think we are only scratching the surface of the value creation that will happen through that. A lot of that has to do with software, but it has to do with the smart use of the hardware that is in the vehicle through software to create new functionality. That comes at a very marginal cost, creating an enormous amount of value. I think it's also very important, and Marisa mentioned that, is that we get, I was going to say, new blood into the equation. I always like to talk to our youngest part of the team, the guys that are coming from not having any automotive experience and try to provoke them to think out of the box on, now I'm giving you this and that, what else can you create out of that stuff? I think we are only at the beginning of a very serious transformation of this industry, and we need to face that challenge. And I think the challenge has to do a lot with thinking out of the box, thinking in many different ways that we've been thinking about for the last 110 years or 120 years of this industry.
Okay, Marisa.
I would summarize it as more integrated offerings. So if I think about it from an exterior systems standpoint, we have everything from complex modules, bumpers, fascias, plastic lift gates, the lighting that can be integrated within those, and really software as well that provides our customer with a better total enterprise value solution. So, we're seeing that when we have a modular approach and more of these integrated offerings, we're able to reduce cost and mass, base engineering content for them in their manufacturing environment. And that's really proving to be a significant growth lever for us. Same thing on the powertrain side. So of course, with fuel tanks as part of our core business that we've made an intentional effort to stay committed to, while also evolving into hybrid batteries, all the way up to large scale bus batteries, and then having the battery management system. We really can provide for our customers a fully integrated solution with the fuel tank for a hybrid, as well as the battery and the software and the ability to manage that integrated solution. So for us, it's integrated solutions and adaptability across that propulsion portfolio.
Naruna, you get the last word.
I see the biggest opportunity in areas where technology helps customers manage increasing vehicle complexity. More broadly, if I have to say, the automotive industry is changing faster than at any point in recent history. And companies that can simplify that complexity will create tremendous value irrespective of the portfolio they possess. And at Amovio, that's exactly where we intend to focus.
Our own Hannah Lutz spoke with Aruna Anand, CEO of Amovio North America, Ramiro Gutierrez of ZF North America, Andrew Clements of Denso, and Marisa West of OP Mobility. You can watch the full video of our latest Congress Conversations live stream on the Automotive News Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. Of course, check out this week's Weekend Drive if you haven't already, and come back on Monday for a brand new full episode of the show.